We think we know the ground beneath our feet. I mean, it's solid, it's familiar, it's just there. But what if it's not? What if our planet holds these incredible secrets, from a core as hot as a star to a shape that isn't quite what we all learned in school? Well, let's dig in and uncover them together.
So, when you picture the Earth, what do you see? Probably that perfect blue marble, right? Floating silently in space. But that image is, well, it's a little bit deceiving. What if the planet we think we know is far more dynamic, more extreme, and honestly more alive than we ever imagined? All right, let's start with something that seems super basic, the actual shape of our world. And believe it or not, right off the bat, we run into a surprise. We're all taught it's a perfect sphere, but it just isn't.
The real term for it is an oblate spheroid, and the reason for this kind of weird shape is the Earth's constant rotation. As it's spinning and spinning, this powerful centrifugal force causes it to bulge out around the middle, the equator, and get a little bit squashed at the top and bottom. So think less of a perfect marble and more like a rubber ball that's been gently squished.
And this dynamic nature, it goes way beyond just its shape. The planet is literally alive with movement. Deep, deep beneath the surface, there's this constant, powerful churn happening. And we see the proof all around us, right? In erupting volcanoes, in the shaking of earthquakes, and in the super slow motion creation of massive mountain ranges. So get this, Earth's tectonic plates, those giant puzzle pieces that make up the crust, they're moving at about the same speed your fingernails grow, just 2.5 centimeters a year. Now that sounds impossibly slow, doesn't it? But over millions of years, that steady, relentless crawl is powerful enough to build the Himalayas and completely reshape continents.
Okay, so if the crust is always on the move, what's driving it? What's the engine behind all this action? To find out, we have to take a journey from the surface down to the very center of the planet, to Earth's blazing heart.
Right at the very core of our world, there is a furnace burning at 5,500 degrees Celsius. It's a level of heat that is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
To give you some perspective on that number, the center of our own planet is burning at nearly the same temperature as the surface of the sun. Just think about that for a second. We are, in a very real sense, living on a planet with a star-hot engine right inside it.
Now this incredible heat isn't just sitting there. It's an active engine, and it's doing something absolutely crucial for us. It generates Earth's powerful magnetic field, this massive, invisible force field that wraps all the way around our planet. And honestly, without this shield, life as we know it just couldn't exist here.
So, with that protective shield in place, let's travel back up to the surface and take a look at the conditions that make life possible, and, a lot of times, incredibly challenging. It really is a world of extremes, totally defined by water, ice, and fire.
We call it the blue planet, right? And for good reason. 71% of the surface is covered in water. But here's the crazy paradox. Of all that water, a whopping 97% is salt water. Just a tiny 3% of it is fresh.
And the story gets even more dramatic. Of that tiny little 3% of fresh water, most of that is totally inaccessible to us. It's locked away in glaciers and ice caps. And this is exactly why clean, drinkable water is so quickly becoming one of the most precious and even fought over resources on the entire planet.
And the story of extremes just keeps going when you look at temperature. The highest ever recorded was a scorching 56.7 degrees Celsius in Death Valley. And the lowest? A completely mind-numbing minus 89.2 degrees in Antarctica. It's wild that this is all happening on the very same world.
So it's pretty amazing that life can thrive with such a huge range of conditions. And that's because the Earth doesn't just host life, it actively works to maintain it. It's almost like a living body with its own kind of immune system.
Just think about the humble tree for a second. It's so much more than just a plant. It's a vital part of the planet's lungs. Get this, a single mature tree produces enough oxygen for 4 people to breathe for an entire day. Trees are absolutely fundamental to our air, our climate, and our very survival.
And beyond just producing oxygen, the planet has its own incredible self-cleaning systems. Rain literally washes pollution out of the atmosphere. The oceans act as a massive sponge for carbon dioxide, and forests are actively filtering out harmful gases. The Earth is constantly trying to keep itself in balance.
And maybe the most important piece of the planet's armor is that magnetic field we talked about, the one generated by the core. It's an invisible shield, constantly deflecting deadly radiation from the sun. Without it, the sun's powerful rays would just strip away our atmosphere, making life on the surface completely impossible.
So all of these intricate systems, the heat deep inside, the water on the surface, that invisible shield, the very breath of the forests, they all work together in this amazing harmony. So for this final part, let's zoom way out and see just how rare and how incredibly special that harmony really is.
The scale of our galaxy is just staggering. Scientists figure there are over 100 billion planets just here in the Milky Way, an almost infinite number of worlds spinning around countless suns out there.
And yet, after all of our searching among all of those billions and billions of worlds, this is the only place we have ever found life. Out of all of that cosmic real estate, it's only here. There's a quote from our source material that just puts it perfectly. If Earth exists, we exist. If not Earth, then nothing. Our entire existence is completely, totally tied to the health of this one world. It's either this or it's nothing.
Our planet gives us the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and the shield that protects us from space. It has given us the absolute miracle of life itself. So the final question then is a simple one to ask, but a really complex one to answer. What will we get back?